Well, good morning. It's showtime, at least according to the little clock on the wall. Hmm. Now my watch just my good old phone, which I use, connected to your phone. It says it's 10 o'clock also. I'm gonna fire up my YouTube thing. I'm gonna try not to say the words that their algorithm is looking for, which is really silly, but I guess you gotta, uh, you know, uh, artificial intelligence is not intelligence. It's just algorithms. Algorithms are not intelligent. Only the people who use algorithms can feign intelligence. So we'll see whether or not that's really true. Anyway, so I'm watching my P's and Q's today. Haven't gotten any feedback from YouTube why they took down my video yesterday, but I'm pretty sure what it is. They have a 10-second delay. And 10 seconds after they cut me off in my video that I downloaded yesterday, I said something that I noticed from their community guidelines will set their artificial intelligence law. Though I was talking about history. I wasn't talking about anything. I'm certainly not advocating violence. If that were true, then they should look at some of the video games that they let on this platform. Anyway, so yesterday, this is Blue Boy Brown. I'm David Greg Taylor, and once again, we're here, and I'm almost by myself. But sooner or later, things will start to gel. And I'm working on what's this? Hey, there. Oh, what happened? Oh no, you're over here. Oh boy, yeah, you're over here. This is what I was doing yesterday. I was working on this, and then I stopped because it's been almost 4 hours. Woo! 4 hours of on the. So I did this, and then earlier in the day, I did, I did this earlier in the day. Because Blue Boy had had what you might call an accident, though it wasn't an accident that happened to him. And so today I'm going to work on this. Not much else to do, though. A old student of mine was giving me some pointers on how to do this African American face, because nobody's face is just a flat brown. Nobody. And so you got to work with these things when you're working, trying to do it in color, and you're trying to give it some veracity. So I'll work on that later on today and maybe really just give this a real good treatment. And then and working on this. And I decided that a green hat, unless he's a leprechaun, one of the little people, I doubt if he's wearing a green hat. So I'm thinking maybe I got to change that. Might as well just get on with it. So what's going on? Yesterday was almost 4 hours. I didn't do a watch party last night, so I may do a watch party with this, which is only going to be an hour and 20 minutes or so, because I have to teach a college class. And then I'll probably put this together with Monday's stream to do a watch party on Facebook tonight. And so what kind of color should I have this guy be wearing? I think it should be more like a turgid brown. Let me see. Turgid. Maybe can I use that word, turgid? I think I'll get in trouble if I use the word turgid. Well, If I went all the way down like that, nobody wears that color either. So let's try this color. What I'll do is I'll take a little bit of a stroll down memory lane, and I'll see if I can change its color slightly. Let's see. Yeah, I can't. Okay, I can't. Look what I did when I bring that down to up to 100%. I just make that silly looking. Yeah, that's better. So I'll just have to do a second layer. I'll call this color 3. And I'll make that also overlay. See how that works. Use my hand down here because the trackpad is a real pain. Anyway. Well, that's interesting. I can blend those two colors, and that's a little closer to what you might see somebody actually wear a hat that actually is that color. Whereas that green, I don't know. I guess there are green hats. So we're such a long way from the era where men wore hats everywhere. Though, yeah, men do wear ball caps, but ball caps aren't hats, they're caps. And the real hats, some Gregory Peck would have worn in man in a gray flannel suit. That's a hat. Something Harry Truman would have worn when he's out on his daily walks. He walked a mile a day, every day. Good old Harry. Okay, that's a little closer. And then maybe we'll go down here. And can I add another layer of that? Let me see. I can just do it in parts. I can have a little more. Won't just be a flat color. So what if I went crazy and I did it over some of this guy's skin, because nobody's skin is just a flat pink or brown or anything. So I think I'll do the same thing here. And then try to avoid the, well, you can do an overlay of the line art and modify the weight of that. Hey, Ruben. So I'm using your little thing here. Put an overlay on that hat so it's not just this green. It's still kind of green. So I have to play around with that. But I'm also putting an overlay on this guy's skin, because nobody's skin is just pink or brown or whatever color it might be. There's also all types of variations where the veins are. I didn't like that. I wasn't looking at it, but as I look at this, I say, I guess when I was doing this, I was thinking about Albrecht Durer's Praying Hands, which is a really good, there's a story behind this, behind Albrecht Durer's Praying Hands. I don't know if it's true. It's hard to figure out a way you can actually verify it. I'm going to do the same thing in this guy's face. When Durer was young, he didn't have the wherewithal. This is the story, at least. He didn't have the wherewithal to get an education. Now, this, to me, I have a hard time with this little part of the story, simply because one did not pay for one's education in the Renaissance. You are farmed out to a master artist, and you go into that artist's studio and you become an apprentice. And this is the way it happened until the academy system came along. The academy system, I guess you have to pay for it and all that other stuff. Kind of limits the amount of people who can go to art school. But in this story, Durer's best friend also was an artist, and he financed Durer's education. And the agreement was that Durer, when he made it, he would finance this guy's education. But by the time Durer had made it, this guy's hands from manual labor were so crippled he couldn't be an artist anymore. So he drew these. He used this guy as his model for praying hands. I think it's probably a bunch of hooey. I don't think that's the way it happened. But yeah, the stream is working again because I got the video got removed because I said one word that the algorithm for YouTube bans. I didn't know it. You find out when it happens. And I wasn't doing what their algorithm is designed to catch. I had nothing to do with that. But artificial intelligence is not intelligent, not in any way. It's just an algorithm, and they have it set up this way because there's billions and billions. And I sound like Carl Sagan. There are billions and billions of videos on YouTube, and they can't police them all. So they have this algorithm set up looking for certain words. Well, I said one of those words. Totally innocuous. Had absolutely nothing to do with what they're looking for. But now I know. I wrote them and appealed. Said, I'm a retired high school teacher, and I'm doing cartoons. I don't think I'm what you're looking for. I'm not advocating for anything except good cartoons and good stories and teachers doing what teachers do, which is advocate for students, because that's what really, once you become a teacher, you're stuck, man. It's like you're gonna be doing everything you can for your students the rest of your life. That's the way it is. So here we go. So this guy's face up here, let's see what I can do to make it look a little, not just, okay. First, put some bluish stuff on here, but got to make it probably in the 40% range. So what happens when I do this? Put this over. Well, only seems to really affect. Oh, yeah, it does affect something. Let me see if I. Okay. That's not so bad. Now you can really make this kind of garish and everything, and then place an overlay on top of it. That'll quiet everything down. Besides, well, I have enough experience doing other forms of art, so I can figure this one out, I think. Well, yeah, YouTube is squelling free speech big time. I have an account on Twitch. if they get too stupid, I'll just switch over to Twitch and tell all my YouTube subscribers to come over to Twitch, where I hear they don't do that. They don't uh, turn you into some kind of pariah because you've kicked off Big Brother. Yeah, Big Brother. Hey, it's happened. Big Brother's here. Okay, I'm gonna see what I can do with this guy's face too. He's a middle shot. This is not a close up, so you're not going to get a whole lot of variations in color there. What about this guy's head? He's a little too white haired for me. Let me see. Okay, color 5. Now let's get some. Let's get down here. Let's see what I can do. Though I really don't want to. I don't like to ever have. Let's see what happens here. Oh, that's a little. That's normal. What is going on with me? Overlay. There. Well, that doesn't do much for anything. Okay, maybe we can maybe over here some orangey. Just keep on playing with it. I'll eventually figure out the correct combination. Well, that kind of lightens up. Yeah, that's not bad. Add a little orange, or kind of brighten up his face. That's good. Of course, what I'm going to probably do is to do a digital print of this and really look at it and see what it's going to look like on paper. So I don't get something that looks completely silly. How about down here? And we bring it up. Yep. What's going on here? Then, what if I just put a good old yeah, let's put on this kind of a shadow in here. But I need probably make it shadow 2. Getting real complex here. It's all your fault, Ruben. And make it multiply, and then give its opacity of about 60%, and see what happens when I go for the whole thing. I have to reduce the opacity of it a lot because it's overpowering everything. That's why I'm glad I did it on a separate layer. Yeah, I got a feeling this is going to be one of those deleted layers if I don't watch out. What if this is down to 68, so imagine what it's like up here. Ah! But right here, that is not so horrible. Now, what if I were to give him a little bit of shine on his nose? Well, that's not so dadgum bad. Let me see. Down here in the color layer, I probably need to soften that, or it's in the tone layer, I think. Well, there's none of those things. What color too? Yeah, it's right there. Didn't like that. That's not horrible. I'll keep on playing around with that. Now, this hat is just really just bad. So I'm going to go up to back down to color and give it a real, probably just a gray hat. That's just, who was wearing brightly colored hats those days? Not too many people, except this guy, this leprechaun up above him. You see, I'm watching myself and YouTube's not getting mad at me. Maybe they'll write back and say, "We're sorry. We didn't mean it." But I guarantee you, Big Brother never backs down. Big Brother never backs down. That's a little nicer. Yeah, it's a little more understandable now. Up here in the shadow area, what if I were to place? That doesn't work. I must still have that thing on normal. It's in my mind. Okay. Now I don't want to. That's way too strong. Ugh. Ah. So be forewarned about good old YouTube. They are on. They're trying to monitor what happens. I probably has something to do with the elections coming up. We got all types of bad actors messing with us. I guess maybe have to put up with that stuff. Well, that's maybe something I could do on this. Oh, a little bit of arthritis. Your hands go numb. It has something also probably to do with my diabetes. If I just did this in streaks. I have a good buddy from Hungary who knows a lot of people in the comic book world. Probably a lot more people than I probably know. And he says he knows the other Dave Taylor. I was the first Dave Taylor, but I abandoned that name because I abandoned comics, which is why I have my middle name in my moniker now. That's that guy owns that name now, really. Though if you go back into underground comics and look for Dave Taylor, you're not going to find this guy. You're going to find me. I don't care about all that stuff now. I left the underground as it was back then behind me because it's just too childish. All these guys, their adolescent fantasies. It's dumb. Who could? It's just too silly. All those adolescent fantasies just don't do anything for me anymore. Let's see how it does for anybody. But if you guess if you're making money off of it, that was a bad mistake. Fortunately, Undo takes care of that. If I should probably leave that alone. Ugh, what a little blind doing this. Dang. Yeah, wee doggies. Let me see. Well, I got all these highfalutin colors over here. What if I did this? I don't see that working at all. I'm going to play around with a little bit of that. This is okay. That's not going to work. Now, bring this back. Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to. This guy's standing out like a sore thumb in the in this page. Everything's simply colored, and then he's looking real complex. So let me see what happens when I do this and that. Maybe we do it like this. Bring it down a little bit more. Yeah. And then maybe do a Gaussian blur on it so it doesn't have real good edges. Well, I'll do okay on it. It's not going to hurt anything. That may be the way I want to do it. That way, it's not that. It's not that big a jump from the color scheme for the rest of the characters on the page. And this guy, it's not too huge a jump. And I do justice to how he would look. Now, he's going to have probably brown eyes. So I'm going to give him some nice brown eyes. Take out the black because that doesn't do anybody any good. And increase this to... No, he doesn't have purple eyes. How about this to 76? Really? Well, 67. He doesn't have that color. Nobody has that. Oh, bring down here and just move the dang thing around. I'll find something I like and then take out the black. Yeah, take out the black. and it's still crummy looking. But add, make this 54. There, that's a little more like it. Okay, a little more like it. And then make it a smaller. And let's see, down here, the color. Ooh. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. That's a little more like it. Maybe put a little bit of bags under his eyes. You're going to be out in the forest all the time. You're going to get a little bit of wrinkles. But 31. I don't have much time today. Okay, let's go into the shadows. Let's just start working on shadows. Oh, I'm gonna use the same color on this guy's hair. Crease my brush. I want him to have white hair. There's no reason to have white hair. Not everybody's a geezer like me. Better. That's better. He's the only guy. Well, maybe this guy needs a little bit of color in his face too. And brown hair is kind of ubiquitous. Everybody's got brown hair. Except a few people don't have brown hair, but most people got brown hair. And D. I don't know if I like, well, change that brown just a tiny bit. Like I said a million times, I don't like any type of color that's got black in it. Black is for things like this over here, not anywhere else. Now, so when I finished all this yesterday, I was goofing off and saying I'm going to go to the shadows next. That's what I got to do. So, what color is the shadow going to be? Well, it's got to be a color probably over here. Yeah, let me see. Probably needs more. Yeah, a little more like that. Yeah, cool gray. I'm going to try a cool gray. I might as well start up on this leprechaun. Let me see. I'm going to put a little of this here and then smudge it some because it'll give at least the appearance that he's got a whisker shadow. I just bring it down like that. That didn't work. I can bring that back though. Yeah. Okay. So let's work on. Well, we got shit. Oh, I don't want that. I want this a little bit. I'm gonna use that shadow for his hat band. And we got several steps in value we can use here. Make it a little more interesting. Kind of like that guy's face. Probably because he's a leprechaun. Yeah, the leprechauns invaded the lumberjack industry. And probably breeding with the little big people. They got some mid-size leprechauns. That's what happened. This guy is a mid-size leprechaun, and that worked okay. And there's going to be a shadow there. There's nothing to be done about it because the sun don't shine on a person's upper lip fold. No. So let's go over this guy. We're still doing the shadows, and it's still got this greeny thing. And this is a good way to kind of accentuate the idea that nobody's skin is just one color. I'm going to soften that. Especially right there. What did I do right there? Okay, I'm kind of satisfied with that. Something I kind of learned. This is a hard lesson for an artist to learn. Back was my first semester at Pratt. I did this. I was in Rolf Fieldi's Ibsen's World class. If you went to Pratt before he retired, you might have taken his Ibsen's World class. And he is just a genius of a teacher. So he had a second. Now the second, it's kind of weird because I hadn't taken his. I took a second semester of him, a drama class in which we read the Bacchae by Euripides. But before I even took that class, I had done a version of the Bacchae in a 12 by 18 inch print on zinc. And within a 2 or 3 states, I had it perfect. And then I couldn't stop. I scraped it out and I did some more. I just ruined it. I only have like one slide of it. I don't even have the dadgum proofs anymore. Things happen as you go along. But it was a really, really good print. And I should have stopped. All my friends said, stop, don't mess with that. I had a guy from Yugoslavia. I can sell those in the Yugoslavia. This is before the Iron Curtain fell. I didn't do it. Oh well. You live, you learn. Okay. So you can't overwork these things. You gotta have a certain level that you say, okay, that's all it needs. Don't let it get too complex. If you do, you have very little way of bringing it back. In the analog world, in this world, maybe you can. The analog world, you're sunk. Watercolors goes bad, get yourself in the sheet paper. But in this one, you can just do all types of crazy things. I'm wiggling my hand. Wiggling my hand. Okay, now over here, I need shadows of this tree, not just flat color. And I probably need some something going on down here to make it a little more interesting. Okay, like I said, leave things alone. Don't bother them too much. Okay, now I'm gonna go down here. I guess I'll start with this guy who's sort of like the guy who's, I don't know what's going on with him. Anyway, shadows all over the place. I probably should size this thing so I can see it well. The sigh is just a sigh. The ordinary things apply as time goes by. Do 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 do. Is that a Cole Porter song? As time goes by, I don't know. It's becomes a theme song to at least one Hollywood studio intro. I hope the Cole Reporter family's getting some residuals. Okay. Now, this guy's got this stuff going on back here, and I want it to be sort of like, is it brushed on? I want it like that. Ugh. Wow. Did I just do something there? Yeah. Okay. Over here. Don't have much time. I got a thing I have to do tonight. Fortunately, I wrote my test last night. Wrote my test that I'm going to give next week. And I wrote the study guide and I distributed the study guide, so I'm in pretty good shape. At least for today. And I perfected the study guide. Notice once I really perfected my study guides, test scores went up. Study guides are real important because so much information. I think I kind of learned this from teaching AP art history. When I was teaching AP art history, man, you go through this stuff, you're going through so much material. It's just disgusting how much material you have to go through in a whole year. And then the AP test, what's that about? It's over everything you ever learned. How are you going to be prepared for all that? It's just real difficult to get anybody prepared for it. What are you going to do with a study guide for the entire year when it's just like a 2-hour test and it's not going to have that many questions on it? And it's all very capricious. Oh well. I don't do this stuff anymore. Thank God. I control the test. I know what's going to be on it. I take into account that I'm teaching people who are not going to be artists. I'm teaching a first level art history course for general education purposes. So people have actually have an idea what their culture has been doing all this time. And I'm actually more interested in my students learning how to write a paper that has proper documentation. That's the most important thing. And the art history is a foil for that. They get to know a lot about art history. But it takes a long time to figure all these dead burn things out. Dadgum. Hand. Okay, let me put this. Yeah, I think I like that better. And then this guy's head pretty much has to go over like that, which means that this probably doesn't need to be like that. Okay. I gotta soften that a tiny bit. As an object gets farther away from the source of the shadow gets softer. The ambient light diffuses it. So you gotta play around edges so they don't look like they're cut out with a pair of scissors. You can do it either with a soft, smudge brush, or you can just go along the edges real softly and play with it rumble like I'm doing here. What's going on down there? Now, this guy has to have some shadow on his face. That'll add a little more believability to his boy, I'm drawing it. This over here too, that, a little bit of that. And the red will be there, but it won't be so blaring. Okay, over here. Okay, soften that up a tiny bit. I can play around with that a tiny bit there. Actually, it's right there at that point. That's where you'd have your diffusion. And maybe I'll have a little bit of this up here. Kind of make this a little more like that. And this probably has to have some shadow. I don't really, well, yeah. Let me see if I can do that. Well, I'm just playing around here. Okay, so maybe I make it smaller here and around some marks here to so just don't have just black ink marks, which are not ink marks, but pencil marks. And that'll another way to kind of feather those. Well, that's a good idea, isn't it, Dave? Well, yeah. Look at that. I feel like Bob Ross. Look at that. Look at those happy little marks. La, 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 la. Oh, okay. Where's my mark? Oh, there's my brush. It's easy to lose your brush when you use Photoshop. Got this thing going on where I'm planning my Kickstarter video. So I'll have this little intro to my Kickstarter campaign of video that's basically an animation of Blue Boy. And it can't be too wild. I can't go crazy on this. It'll be very simple animation. But I think I can figure it out. Make it very simple, but then it just can, move on from there. It'll be sort of like a melodic line that I repeat several times, and then I'll try to do a video of me not stuttering. Ah, okay. Probably could do the same thing over here with this guy's the fold and this guy's clothing. Have the same thing going on. Ooh. This has turned out to be a pretty decent page. I had to mess around with it a lot. I had to go through all types of rigmarole to get it to work, because it was just a little 2 or 3 sketches in my sketchbook, and I just wanted to show the other lumberjacks, but don't want to spend a whole lot of time on these guys because they're not really a big part of the story, other than the family has no intention of ever becoming completely bogged down in this company town, which is what most of them were. I had to watch out for company towns because that didn't work. Yeah. You'd it's like that Tennessee Ernie Ford song. 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, because I can't go. Oh, my soul to the company store. Company store was, you'd live on the company's property because you're dirt poor. And then you're out there in the boonies, all of your supplies were bought through their store, and they'd give you an advance on your pay. Usually the advance was more than your pay because you had to feed yourself and your family, and anything that happened, you had to feed the kids. And so you were so deep in debt, you could never do anything but work for this place the rest of your life. Happened a lot in coal mining regions. And then you wonder why the unions took hold. That's why the unions took hold. Get some kind of justice for these poor people. When the unions hit the lumber companies, though, it got ugly. It got so ugly, I better not talk about it because YouTube will ban me again. They'll take down my video, but it was ugly. All you do is there's a YouTube there's a series on YouTube called "The 5 Men Who Made America." The conflicts that went on when steel workers tried to unionize happened everywhere. People tried to unionize. One of the characters in this trilogy here, Billy, is based upon my grandfather's brother. Billy was a union organizer for the B.F. Goodrich plant in Miami, Oklahoma. And I would, when I would talk to union people anywhere in that area, and I mentioned his name, they say, "Oh, Billy, yeah, Billy. Bill Taylor, yeah, I know him. This is my uncle." And then that's as far as they got in being nice to me. You're not a member of the union, I guess, what the heck. This is when I was working my way through college, I tell you. During the school year, I would take care of invalids. During the summer, because for a short period of time you could make more money doing this, I would sell ice cream. I was an ice cream man. And so I worked my tail off to get an education. And during one of those summers, there was a big union strike at a local plant, and I went up there trying to sell them some ice cream. I told them who my uncle was. They said, "Oh, we know him," and they said, "Good, give us something free." I said, I can't do that. You should buy my stuff just because of what my uncle did for you. They said, heck with that. Oh, well. So let's look at that. That face, that African American face in the middle is still not working. So I got about 15 minutes before I have to go. So let's see if I can fix him. The rest is okay.